Hello and welcome to Memkoh TV. I hope you're doing amazing. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my solo traveling experience and a few tips that I have on how to solo travel, especially as we're nearing the end of this quarantine period and things are opening back up. Last year I took a couple of trips by myself. It's something that I had always wanted to do, so I'm super happy that I was able to just take that plunge and travel solo. It was a really amazing and rewarding experience. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So that's why I thought I should share that, because I know a lot of people are now taking interest in solo traveling. Let me know in the comments if you've traveled solo before and how your experience was. And so now let's dive in. Where did I go? So I traveled to LA, and that was my way of starting my solo trips easy by going to somewhere that wasn't too far from me. So LA is an hour trip from San Francisco, and it was pretty easy. Like, I took that trip because I was so stressed and I knew that I just needed a getaway, like just away from my house, away from my immediate environment, and I'm super happy I did that. I booked my trip online on hotwire.com. That's typically where I book my trips, and why I liked it, especially for that trip. So I had never used the package combinations before. I don't know how you guys book your trips, but I'd never booked like hotel and flights. I've never done that before. I usually get them separately, typically from different places. But I found that combining my trip actually saved me some money, especially because I was traveling on a whim. Like, I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to LA, and I got the ticket, and about 2 days later I was on my way to LA. So for trips like that you're just going on a whim, it would be more beneficial to just get a package deal and save on your hotel and your flight, and even car rental if you're getting a car rental, which I did. But I did that after, actually, did I bundle everything? I can't really remember, but I did. I got a car rental when I got to LA. I guess I'll just tell you guys a little bit about my trip to LA. It was really nice, honestly. Like, I got there in the morning, got into the hotel, freshened up, and then just I had picked up my car rental from the airport. So after I freshened up, I just hit the streets like right away. I was like, I need to see what LA looks like, and it was just so beautiful. The weather was great, not like San Francisco that's cloudy and chilly all year round. So the weather was amazing. The people there actually drive with sense. Like, I was surprised. People are not as crazy as in San Francisco. So that was really nice. What did I do? I know maybe some of you like plan your trips like in every single detail, but my trip was to rest. Like, I just wanted to go there and relax. So I didn't really have anything set out that I wanted to do or wanted to see. I didn't have any must see, because again, LA is my backyard and I should actually be going there every day. So I knew I would always have opportunities to see the landmarks and all the must do things in LA. So it was a really chill trip. It was no pressure for me. From the hotel, I went straight to get food. I just put like food spots on Google Maps and went to one that spoke to me. And funny enough, right beside the restaurant was a museum. Everyone that I met in the restaurant told me, you need to hop over next doors and go to that museum. So it just worked out perfectly. It was just such a lovely ambience, lovely space. The food was really good, drinks were good, everything was nice, people were nice. And then I went to the museum. I just spent time in the museum. It was really, really nice. And after that, what did I do? I was like, oh, I need to go to West Hollywood. So I got in the car, drove to West Hollywood. I was trying to catch it before sunset, but I wasn't really able to do that. And I guess I didn't know what to see on West Hollywood. So, I drove down there. I was like, okay, cool. Like, what next? And I pulled out my Google Maps again, like, okay, where next do I go to? So I drove down, I think, Sunset Boulevard. It's a really long street. I was just taking in the views, and then after that I drove up to Beverly Hills, or I went to Beverly Hills, like that neighborhood, whatever it is, saw the Beverly Hills Hotel, got out, took pictures. I was honestly just trying to familiarize myself with the places that I'd heard the names of, but not really making it like a sightseeing trip. I was really just driving around LA. And I guess the last spot I went to that really crowned everything was that place with lights. I can't really remember what it's called, but it has a lot of lights. So that was really, really amazing. So that was after Beverly Hills. I was actually on my way to the hotel and I was like, wait, let's find one more thing to do. Pulled up Google Maps again, just searched, and the lights place was nearby. So I went there, took pictures. you know, met people. I really just had a good time. Like that trip was just super chill, and I was just there to, you know, meet new people, talk to people, interact, and have a good time. I wasn't like 5 a.m. go here, 6 p.m. go here. Nah, that wasn't my aim. That wasn't my aim. So it was an amazing trip. Even when I got back to the hotel and I was having dinner, people came up to, you know, next to where I was sitting, and we just like burst into good conversation and laughter, and it was just so incredible. I really enjoyed my time, and the next morning I was out. That was my solo trip to LA. Like super easy, super quick, no pressure, and I had a great time. So yeah. The next place I went to was Seattle. Seattle was beautiful. Like I didn't really see much again because I went to rest. I got there on a Friday evening. I got a car rental. I probably shouldn't have because I stayed downtown, and honestly my hotel to all the places I went to was what, like a 6-minute Uber drive. So I didn't need that car rental, and I feel like I actually spent a lot of money on paying for parking because there was no like parking structure that was free for the hotel. So you know, that's another thing to keep in mind. Like really consider if you need to get that car rental, or if you're just going to Uber everywhere. On Saturday morning, I actually did not want to go anywhere. I stayed in my hotel for the entire morning. I was actually working like some Memkoh stuff, working on selections for my clients, and I had just gotten back pictures from a photo shoot I did, so I was just like looking through them and sharing them. So I really did not want to leave my hotel. Like I told myself I'm here to sleep. So I was just going to spend my entire trip sleeping. But you know, around the evening I was like, okay, what is Seattle without the Space Needle, right? And then I checked, and I think I'd known this previously. So the Space Needle was about 6 minutes from my hotel. I stayed in the Hyatt downtown. Funny story, so I actually walked into the wrong Hyatt because there are like 2 Hyatt hotels in downtown Seattle. There was a brand new one that had just opened, and the one I booked. So I like, you know, strutted, like carried all my stuff and went into the brand new one, you know, gave them my name, everything, and they're like, sorry, wrong hotel. It was so funny. And then I had to just walk, but it was really just across the street, like to the end of the block, and I left and I was at the other Hyatt hotel. So, but that was just really funny. So yeah, I had already known that the Space Needle wasn't far from me. So, you know, that evening when I finally decided that I needed to step out, Seattle is rainy, you need to dress appropriately. I did not dress appropriately. I carried just one light blazer, and yeah, it wasn't a good decision. I wore these white culottes and a white top and my, you know, light blue blazer, which was the only outer covering that I had. So of course I needed to wear it to sort of like stay warm if it was going to rain. I went into the Space Needle, explored there for about 2 hours, you know, just taking pictures, looking at the views and taking videos, and people were just looking at me and stopping me like, oh, you look nice, because I was like super dressed up. Like I wore heels. Who wears heels on a 2.5-hour sightseeing trip where you're in, you know, you're in this building that's revolving? So that was, yeah, but it was good. It was really good. And after that I just went downstairs, and there's this Chillingley Gardens. Please let me know if I pronounced that right, but Chillingley Gardens is right there downstairs, and it's this beautiful place, I think like a museum filled with glass structures. I'd say blown glass. It's like blown into different shapes and so colorful, so beautiful and artistic. So I just spent about maybe 30-45 minutes there exploring. By this time, guys, I changed into my flats. I was like, yeah, let's change into flats. So you know, I did that, looked around, took lots of pictures, and I think around 6 or 7 I was like, okay, I need to see another place. People had recommended, so a lot of people were nice. I was talking to a lot of the locals and even tourists, and people recommended that I see, there's this place, I think the ferry, yeah, I think it was like the ferry area, ferry building or something like that. I'll put pictures. So yeah, it was this beautiful like ferry side or like seaside, and yeah, I just went there. I went on the what's that thing called, roller coaster, what is it, Ferris Wheel, yes, the waterfront. Okay, I had to get there before sunset, so I took an Uber from the Space Needle back to my hotel, changed into another outfit, and headed right back out to the waterfront. And guys, the Seattle waterfront is just so beautiful. It was lovely at sunset. Everyone there was just nice and happy and relaxing, and there was a Ferris wheel that was just right there in the middle. Like my Uber driver just did an amazing job. He was like, yeah, I'm going to stop you right next to where the Ferris wheel is so that you can just run in. And that was what he did. I think that was actually my first time on a Ferris wheel. I didn't know that. I thought I had been on one before. And guys, I was so scared. Like, I was super scared, especially because it's, you know, the doors were closed and it felt a little cramped. Like, it felt like there was no air, you know. Like, after the door closed and it started revolving, I was like, oh my god. And there was no one. So I looked in the cars above and below me. There were people there, you know, people came with their friends and stuff. And, you know, for me, it was just me there, no one to talk to sort of like keep my mind distracted from this thing that was revolving. Anyways, I was really scared in the beginning. But then what helped me was actually getting my camera out and like taking pictures and videos of the views. So that was how I distracted myself. By the second rotation, I think I was fine. And of course, I was like chewing my gum like very like sort of loudly just so that I would feel not alone, right? So I was like really chewing my gum and yeah, taking pictures, taking videos. That really helped. And then I went down to the Ferris building or the waterfront building, got ice cream, got an Uber, and I was back to my hotel. Actually, that wasn't it. I watched a movie and the next thing I was like, I need dinner. But I'm not eating in the restaurant. I'm not eating in the hotel. So I looked online, like, where do I need to eat right now? And people recommended this amazing place called the Red Door. Oh my gosh, guys, listen. If you go to Seattle, you have to eat at the Red Door. It's one of these like hidden places. It was just such a hidden gem and I'm so happy that I found it. So I went there like, you know, all by myself in the dark. It was like, what, 10 p.m? I was like, I need to get food. I got dressed up again. I changed into my third outfit for the day. This beautiful red dress and a pink blazer, put on heels. I was like, okay, let's go on a dinner date by myself. And you know, I got there. I sort of walked. It was a little bit of a walk, like cobblestones, all of that, trying to find this restaurant. But in the dark little tiny alley where there are lots of little clubs or bars, you would just see a Red Door, and that was the restaurant. And it had this like, you know, basement, like you go down the stairs and then the whole restaurant is there. The food was so good. I can't even remember what I ordered. I think it was lasagna. Yeah, I think I got lasagna. It was amazing. It was, oh my gosh, like the taste, everything, it was A1. So yeah, hidden gem. Sat there, had my dinner, and after I was done eating, I like dragged myself back to my hotel because I was so full. Like I almost sat there and like had the whole ideas session going on. But so I dragged myself back to my hotel, into the rental car, went back to my hotel and just crashed. The next morning, I woke up, packed my bags, and I was off to the airport, like just in time. Just in time to make my flight. That was the end of Seattle. Like very quick, short, and effective trips. And I really like them. I really like them. I don't need to spend 5 days anywhere, even though in the past I believed I needed like a long vacation to actually feel relaxed. But last year really taught me that a 2-day trip, a 1-day trip is all you need to just relax and reboot and rejuvenate yourself. So anyways, guys, so moving on to tips. So those were my 2 solo trip experiences. They were really lovely. So what did I learn? I learned that a lot of times we put ourselves in this box. The box could be your house. The box could be your friends. The box could be your thinking, right? We put ourselves in boxes, and by traveling on my own, I was able to step out of my box and meet brand new people, find a way to interact with these people, find a way to build new relationships, even if it's just for the weekend. Just say, hey, hi. You laugh with them, you learn something new about each other, and it was just such an amazing experience, guys. What else did I learn? I learned that you should just live a little, like just have fun, live a little. Don't say, oh, I have this really stressful schedule, I don't have any time. Take 1 day out and travel somewhere and come back the next morning. You're going to feel so refreshed. And that was what happened to me with each of those trips. Whenever I came back home, I felt empowered to do more. I felt rejuvenated to actually be able to focus on my work better. I had better ideas. I had fresh new ideas just because I had stepped out of my box, out of my immediate environment. So I think those are 2 really vital lessons that traveling solo taught me. And of course, also just exploring life on your own and knowing that you can do things on your own without actually waiting to travel with your friends or a spouse or whatever. Like just learning more about yourself and knowing what makes you happy. Like now, I know that if I travel somewhere and I spend the entire time sleeping in my hotel room, I am fine. I'll be absolutely happy. right? Because that's what I wanted to do in Seattle, and that's sort of what I did for the whole morning, not stepping out. So you're going to learn a lot about yourself, about your likes and dislikes, and just explore, guys. So now let me just give you a few tips on booking solo travel, especially as things are easing up. So the first thing you want to do is just comply with the regulations, right? Times are different now. We live in a very different world right now, so comply with the regulations of wherever you're going to travel to. Check that up ahead of time. The second thing is check your weather. Like, somehow I always forget to pack jackets whenever I'm traveling, and I get there and I'm freezing. So I'm going to try my best, and it's because I usually pack so many clothes, so there's no space for any bulky jacket. But know the weather of the place you're going to, so that you actually have a good time and not be uncomfortable because you don't have the right clothes. And the third tip is actually your booking. Like I said in the beginning, I use Hotwire to book my trips, and Hotwire just helps me save on hotel rates. It helps me save on car rentals, right? Because then I book my cars ahead of my trip, so that I'm saving a lot versus pulling up to the counter in the airport and trying to book a car that day. Sometimes you might not even find. So I book my car rental ahead of time, I book my hotels, and for flights, I use this app called Hopper. So Hopper allows you to key in the dates of your trip, and you can actually put multiple dates and track it, and Hopper is going to let you know the best time to book your trip. So download the Hopper app, guys, if you don't already have it, and it lets you know. It's going to tell you, okay, prices might fluctuate from now till October 3rd, so you should book now, or you should wait within 2 weeks, or prices will go up by $100, so book immediately. So I really like Hopper. Due to COVID and all the changes that are going on right now, you can pay $27 fee, and if you need to cancel your flight or move it to another day, you'd be able to do that for free. Before I actually start buying flights, I usually use Google Flights just to get an idea of the prices. So Google Flights tells me the price range that I should be looking at. Hopper tells me the best time to book the flight. And then I either book on Google Flights, eventually I go back to Google Flights to book, or I use Hotwire to book my flight. So just letting you know my chain of resources and apps that I use to plan my trips. Now, where do I have in mind? Where do I want to go? To be honest, guys, I don't know. I just think when everything is open, the first place I'm probably going to step foot in is LA. I just need to be there again. And after LA, I will be able to determine where else I want to go. My thing is, I don't want to disappoint myself by, booking a trip and looking forward to it so much that if things don't open back up fully, then I'll be disappointed. So I don't want to do that to myself. That's why I'm just holding off on making any travel arrangements right now. But I would love to explore more cities in the West Coast. I've never been to Vegas, so I'd love to go to Vegas. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new from the tips that I shared on how to travel solo. Let me know in the comments if you've taken a solo trip before, or if you're planning to do so. Are you booking any trips? Do you guys have any places that you absolutely want to go to after this pandemic is over, or have you already started traveling? Let us know so that we can get excited together. Thank you guys, and have a good day. Bye bye.